So how crucial is it that ECOWAS come to a unified conclusion on the way forward for Niger?
Yeah, thank you very much for having me. Yeah, it's important for them to come to this as soon as possible because there is a lot of uncertainty, not just within Niger, but across the region. Lots of countries are agitated. The economic situation in Niger is becoming more dire. So it's very important that they decide what exactly they want to do as soon as possible.
OK, very important, but I suppose how likely is it we're going to see a resolution?
It's unlikely we will see a military intervention, but in terms of a resolution, we're hoping that as soon as possible, because the situation is changing all the time. Just yesterday, we're getting an impression that even the African Union is not in support of a military intervention. So it's changing all the time, and it's becoming even trickier for ECOWAS as a bloc.
And talking about the wider region, what does this latest coup, what does it tell us about the fragility of the Sahel region, and how concerned should we be about that?
Well, it just opens up exactly what is happening in the region, and it tells us that we need to pay more attention to the Sahel. And, you know, some people have said ECOWAS should do this, they should intervene militarily, but ECOWAS should have actually paid more attention to strengthening democracy in the region, because we have a lot of terrorist organizations and insurgent groups lurking around the corner, trying to look for openings to strike or to destabilize the region further. So it's very important that we get a grip of the situation very quickly.
Now, this has got the world gripped as to what's been going on in Niger. Do you think that maybe external countries, apart from ECOWAS, should be more concerned and maybe more involved?
Yeah, they should be concerned in terms of the implications of the situation. So it's a tricky one. If ECOWAS decides to go on with military intervention, it will have implications for all the 7 countries that border Niger in terms of the mass inflow of refugees, and some of them would also want to come towards Europe. So that would impact on Europe as a whole. And then the threat of large-scale insurgency or even a caliphate, as we saw in Syria, it's actually a possibility if the region disintegrates even further. So in terms of how they can support, I think we have all said, a lot of analysts and commentators have talked about the need to put more pressure on the regime to come out clear with what exactly they want, because I don't see enough movement in asking the regime, what do you want? What is your plan? What exactly do you want to gain with this? How long do you want to be in power? I don't see Bazoum being restored. We have to be very clear with that. I don't see that happening. But we need to start looking beyond that and putting pressure on the regime to immediately start thinking about a very short transition period back to democracy.
So you're saying the real issue and fear here is the possibility of contagion?
Yeah, absolutely. That's why ECOWAS is afraid, because they need to be seen as doing something, or else Côte d'Ivoire is there, some other countries there. You want to be seen as doing something so that the whole, out of 15 countries in ECOWAS, 4 are now in the hand of the military. So ECOWAS needs to be doing more regarding that, and that is what they are trying to do. But I don't think military intervention is the solution.
OK, we really appreciate your analysis on this. Thank you so very much. That's Olayinka Ajala, a senior lecturer at Leeds Beckett University, live here on TRT World today.